Hello everyone. Well, after my recent unboxing video of this Hoover Steam Jet steam mop, I thought it's high time I did a demonstration of it. So before the demonstration, I'll just briefly explain what you get in the box. Obviously you get the steam mop itself. You actually get two of the microfiber pads. I've already used one which is ready to be washed. And you get this, which is the carpet glider, which is used with the microfiber pad on your carpets, which helps to freshen them up, reduce odours, kill germs and remove surface soiling. So they say. I've never actually tried a steam mop on a carpet before. That could be another video for another day. So here we have the main head of the Hoover Steam Jet. It's quite a wide head. What's unique about this model is it has an inbuilt delta-shaped scrubbing head. If you see that red head there, that detaches from the main body of the mop, and you can use it in tight spaces or for giving a particular stubborn piece of dirt a good scrubbing. And I would have thought that'd be very good on tiles. You're grouting in your floor tiles, because it's quite a stiff brush. It would be good for that. Moving on up, the only control we have is this on-off button. There's two lights, one to tell you you've got it plugged in, and the other lights up when it's ready to steam. You've got a long 7-metre flex on the steam mop, so you should be able to reach more or less everywhere you need to. It's especially useful having a longer flex if you're cleaning your bathroom, because obviously the bathroom doesn't tend to have a socket in it, so a nearby socket, perhaps in the landing, should be near enough with this steam mop. You have the trigger here, that releases the steam. On the back, I've already filled it. You have this removable tank, which you just fill up with plain water from the tap, and there's a little cap on there. You just screw the cap back on and it just slots in there. And underneath we have a limescale filter. If you live in a hard water area, that's very useful for reducing limescale and prolonging the life of the machine. So I'll just show you, before we get started, what makes this a bit different from some steam mops is the addition of the dual head. So to release the head, all you do is press this, and then you can remove the scrubbing head. I always find it's better, before you use the head, to actually incline. You see that the machine stands up on its own, which some steam mops do not, so that's useful. We'll just recline the head first, and then we'll remove the delta head. So now you've got this small head, which will get into corners, get into the smaller spaces as well, but its main function is to use as a scrubbing brush. If we turn it over, you can see here underneath it's got some very stiff brushes. Steam comes out of this hole here, and these brushes are very stiff, enabling you to clean your grouting or stubborn stains. But for regular normal cleaning, especially on this floor which is just a lino, I'll just be using the microfiber pad. Might as well fit the microfiber pad to the head while it's off, it's a bit easier to do. Here's the underside of the head. You've got one single hole where the steam comes out of, but these fins here guide the steam to the corners of the head. And it's just a Velcro fitting. Got Velcro on this side. Make sure you put it in the right way. You can see the specific shape of the head. It's squared at the front and rounded at the back to correspond with the shape of the microfiber head. So all we do, it's best to try and get it lined up straight away, because once this pad's on, it is quite hard to pull off, but you don't want it falling off while you're cleaning. So let's pop it on. That should be it. So there we have the head attached. If we want to use it on carpets, we'd attach this carpet glider, which just clips on here and enables you to glide the head over the carpet. But we're just going to be cleaning the kitchen floor today, so we won't need that. So there's your main head. So we just need to click in the head there. So first things first, we have to plug it in. There's a hook here that just turns down and releases the whole flex. So we'll just plug in, turn on, and in a few moments we'll be ready to steam. Right, so we've had it plugged in, and Hoover say about 30 seconds is all it should take for it to be ready. When you first plug it in, this light, the blue light, lights up just to show you've got it plugged in and switched on. And then when it's ready to steam, this little green light comes on. And that indeed did happen within 30 seconds. So, to use a steam mop, you're just supposed to guide it slowly back and forth over the floor while releasing the steam. So to incline, just put your foot on the head until it's reclined. Move the flex out of the way. And like I say, you squeeze this trigger to release the steam. When you first get it, you'll notice a noise from a pump. That's the water being pumped from the water container at the back into the steam generator. I'm not sure mine will do it now because I have used it, but certainly the first time you use it, you will notice quite a loud noise and you think, ooh, what's that noise? But once water's through to the steam generating part, it shouldn't make that noise, but it might, I'm not sure. We'll have a go. That's the steam coming through. You can feel a slight vibration when you squeeze this trigger, and that's the pump working. And as you can see already, steam is starting to come out. So just guide the head slowly back and forth. So in theory, this is not only cleaning the floor, it is sanitising it, and because you're not using any chemicals, there'll be no residue. But you will find the first few times, perhaps, when you use a steam cleaner, if you've always cleaned your floor using chemicals, you might find a residue, like a soapy residue building up. That will, after a few goes with the steam mop, that will be removed. So the head, not as flexible as some, it does swivel a bit, but like this area here, it's quite hard to get into. Of course, in this instance, you can actually take that head off. Let's first recline it, forgot about that. Pop it back. So although that is strictly mainly for scrubbing, you can use it like that to clean into your nooks and crannies. You can see it just quite a lot of steam. So you can do that, although using this head, it does leave the floor much wetter because there's no microfiber cloth to absorb any of the liquid once the steam turns to liquid, as you'll see. But it's a good steam output on this machine. That's pretty good. The steam mop I had previously, I still got, was just a cheap model, and it didn't produce anywhere near that amount of steam. So we'll just pop it back. Easy to do. And we'll continue steaming. Now, good thing about this mop, it goes pretty flat. So that is flat to the floor. Goes right down, so it's easy to get under your tables or your chairs. I've taken my chairs away so I can give under my table a good clean. Well, that's my kitchen floor cleaned with the Hoover Steam Jet steam mop, and it's done a very good job. Obviously it takes a while for the floor to dry, but quicker than mopping by hand, and obviously depending on the weather, if you've got a warm breezy day it won't take so long as when you're steam cleaning your floor in the winter. But I think compared to a mop and bucket, it is the way to go, but they're not perfect. You will find some steam mops will leave a residue on the floor. They'll leave watermarks, depending, you know, how wet it leaves the floor, it can leave watermarks. On some floors it will show up more than others. This floor will show up, this black floor does show up where I've got watermarks, and occasionally I've had to go round with a tea towel, and certainly in the areas where the light catches, because that's where it's noticeable, and just dry it, which somehow defeats the object, but you get a good result. You know, this floor, I would eat my dinner off it. I'm not going to show you eating my dinner off it on YouTube, but there's no residue, there's nothing. The floor feels smooth, and you can tell that it's clean. One thing I didn't say before starting steaming, you must always sweep your floor thoroughly, or preferably vacuum it with a vacuum cleaner suitable for hard floors, whether an upright with a brush bar off, or even better, a cylinder cleaner with a hard floor brush, because you want the floor as clean as you can before you start steaming it. So once you've finished using your Hoover Steam Jet, all you have to do is coil up the flex, and there's a little clip here built into the hook that you can actually clip the cord in so it stays secure. Then, I don't know if it's necessary, but I would take the tank out, which is a bit tricky one-handed because it is a little bit stiff. Let's try and do it. So take the tank out, empty any unused water, and then you can pop your tank back in. And the last thing to do is take your pad off, because you want to have a clean pad for next time. With this model I find it's easier to remove the pad by taking the whole unit off. Let's pop it over there because it won't stand on its own when it's only got that small head. Now this is not going to be dramatic because this floor was quite clean, but that was a brand new pad actually when I started cleaning, And so it's very strong Velcro you need to remove. Trying to do it single-handedly is even harder. Now, that you can pop in your washing machine with your tea towels, but it's best not to wash these at above 40. If they're really, really dirty, give them the pre-soak in some biological washing detergent and before putting them in with your other washing. You might not want to wash these, depending on how dirty they are, with your other washing, but with tea towels it's fine. But I tend to wash my tea towels on 60, so I wouldn't actually put that into the wash. But the last one I used that came with this machine, I just hand washed it, soaked it, and it came pretty clean. So, you know, it's whatever you want to do. One thing you mustn't do, of course, is use fabric softener. Because what fabric softener does, to make your clothes all nice and soft and nice and smelly, they coat the fibres of your clothes with an oily substance. That's what makes them soft. And the oil repels water. So you don't want this pad to be repelling water, because it's going to repel the dirt as well. You want this pad to be absorbent. So never, and this goes for any steam cleaner or really any microfiber cloth you're using, wash it, rinse it thoroughly, but never use fabric softener. I know how it might smell nice, it might make it nice and soft, but fabric softener is something you do not want to put on your microfiber pads. So that's it. That's the Hoover Steam Jet demonstrated for you. All in all, I think it's a good machine. There's a lot of steam mops about. They all have different selling points. You can pay £20, you can pay £130. This one retails approximately about £69 on average. You can get it cheaper in some places, but it's a sort of a mid-priced, and it's a decent mop, I think. Compared to the other mop I had, it produces a hell of a lot of steam. It's nice to use. It's got some shortcomings, but for $69.99 or less, yes, I'd recommend the Hoover Steam Jet Steam Mop. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos on floor care appliances, including hard floor washers and carpet shampooers, please subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified of any new uploads. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.